Okay, awesome. We may as well get started. So first of all, thank you everybody for chiming in. I know Ash is feeling a little bit nervous and excited all at once. She's been doing an amazing job kind of delving into this and really wanting to get out there and help people. So I wanted to create a business launch for her to really go over the ins and outs of everything that she's going to be partaking on her journey, which is really exciting. So a little bit about me. My name's Katrina. I actually used to work with Ash a long time ago, and through the beauty of Facebook, we've been able to reconnect. Over the last 18 months, I've created a company called the Soul Project. So what we want to do is we want to get out there and kind of introduce a healthier living to people, because at the moment we have a real crisis going on. There's people struggling mentally, financially, physically, emotionally. There's quite a little bit of hurt in the world. So I came across an opportunity to explore, and it fit my values so well. So I created the Soul Project, and I'm loving it ever since. And Ash kind of reached out and wanted to know a little bit more about our program. She jumped on, was loving it as well, and has now become on board as a wellness ambassador for us, which is really exciting. So I'm pretty much going to break down what we do. So I'm going to highlight our program and our products. And then I'm going to talk about the mission behind it, so becoming part of our team and working towards creating more of an impact out there for people who may be needing it. Okay, so we utilize a product called Juice Plus. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard about it, but pretty much the mission behind the company of Juice Plus is to get more whole food fruits and veggies into people. Because at the moment we're finding it's just not happening as well behaved that people want to be. They want to control more food in their diet. They want to get more whole foods and less processed and less packaged things. With the fast-paced lifestyle that we're having, it's just not happening. And you look at the things that are happening around us in our communities. We have so much illness and so much dis-ease. So, think about how many people with diabetes at the moment. Anybody struggling with weight issues. Anybody struggling with mental illness, anybody struggling with autoimmune conditions, skin conditions, arthritis, any kind of thing that is based upon inflammation in our body, most of the time does stem back from diet. And it's really quite amazing to see that a few simple changes, like adding a product like Juice Plus into your diet, can actually really be beneficial. Now, we're all skeptical by nature. I think it's human nature to be skeptical. I was at first as well. But the products make sense. They have 35 years of backing behind them, so they've been on the market for that long. And I knew that when I got into this, if I was going to endorse a product in my Soul Project, it really had to be something that ticked all the boxes for me. So I had to try it personally. It had to work in my body. It had to be natural. And it also had to be scientifically backed, because even though I don't really care about independent studies and everything like that, I knew people out there would. So it needed to be able to stand the test against somebody with all that scientific backing as well. Now, Juice Plus does actually tick all those boxes. There's almost 40 peer-reviewed studies done over the 3 decades that it's been up and running. So that's massive. There's actually no actual medical, device or ailment that has had over 40 studies done on it. So Juice Plus is just a nutritional supplement at the moment, but it has more studies done on it than most of the antibiotics that we take. So that's crazy, absolutely crazy, right? Now, some of these studies actually show us that it decreases inflammation. It can quadruple the amount of antioxidants in our body. Now, that's simply because all it does is it takes beautiful fruits and veggies in their natural organic form, and it gets more of that nutrients into your body. So pretty much, this is these little babies here. You may see them pop up. Now, they do look a little bit deceiving because they come in a canister form. Now, for me, that is what made me so skeptical at the start, because I didn't understand how something natural could come inside a canister. It looks kind of like a vitamin. When you turn it over in the back, it actually reads like a whole food ingredients list. Okay, so here I've got the veggies, lovely green veggies. And the ingredients list, so, instead of when you pick up multivitamins, you can't understand any of them. This pretty much reads carrot, cabbage, kale, rice bran, broccoli, beetroot, tomato, garlic, parsley, spinach, oat bran, and it goes on and on. Okay, spirulina, all sorts of yummy things that we probably don't eat on a daily basis, but a simple, easy way to get them in there. Now what they do is they vine ripen them in a completely organic farm. So there's no pesticides, no herbicides, no genetic modification. The farms have actually been owned by Juice Plus for 3 generations. So there's been no soil tampering. The soil is actually how it's supposed to be in a natural form. Now that's quite important because a lot of the time what we're eating is very minerally depleted because it's over-farmed. You know, the produce these days that we buy out of convenience from the supermarkets and things like that, they're produced to be sold. They're not produced to help our body. So a lot of the time, the nutritional benefits and everything like that, they've gone to the wayside. As long as they can produce large amounts of this produce and get it out and make money from it, they don't really care. And that's why we're finding so many of us are ill, because we're not ingesting the nutrients that we want, no matter how hard we try. So these guys definitely make sense. They bridge that gap, and it's so simple. Okay, so they wait until that produce is completely ripened, because again, a lot of the time when we're talking about the greed and the production of fruit and veg these days, they take them really early, they gas ripen them, they freeze them, they leave them under lights in order to be ripened, and you're missing that last natural kind of chemical compound that happens on the vines. Okay, again, that's so beneficial for inside our body, and we're missing it. Okay, so they wait till then, they take the whole fruit. So for an apple, for example, they take the whole apple, the skin, the insides, the flesh, the seeds, everything that's got nutritional benefits. They pulp it down, and then they cold press it at a really slow temperature. So anybody that knows the difference between cold press and normal juicing and things like that. So they keep all of those phytochemicals alive. They dehydrate it at a really slow pace. They extract all of the water, which takes out with it most of the fructose, and it actually just leaves you with the nutrients. They then put it in a vegan capsule, and it's good to go. So it's amazing. It's still classed as a whole food, and that's TGA approved in both Australia and New Zealand, which is really important because there's no other nutritional supplement here that is. Okay, so it's very beneficial. It does make sense. And it's crazy the amount of gaps and amount of cells that it rejuvenates and turns back on once you start really flooding your body on that cellular level. Ooh, now it's just telling me that my internet's unstable. So Ash or Denise, can you let me know if it goes a bit crazy? Cool. Perfect. All right, so again, with our premium packs, these come in the Soul Project with, you've got veggies, berries, and fruits. So every day you're getting about 27 different fruits, veggies, and berries of the whole rainbow color, which is really important. I'm a little bit of a hippie at heart, and I understand that every single color inside our fruits, veggies, and process has a different energetic level that it turns on inside our body. Most often, especially if you have kids or you have a family, they stick to certain veggies that they like eating, and they don't go outside that scope. So something like this is really important to bridge the gaps of maybe the colors that you're not ticking off daily. Okay. Now, the other really cool thing that I like about this is that I'm a mum, and whenever I order products, I get free kids products as well. Now, it was really important with me at the start of this because spiritually and mentally, I was on a very good path. I had my shit together, let's say, you know, I meditated, I looked after myself, I was mindful, but I wasn't very, really kind of turned on with what I was putting inside my body. I was eating a lot of packaged stuff, which I thought was healthy, but it wasn't. And my kids were doing the same. Now, if you've got kids, you know that they can be quite fussy, and sometimes just getting them to eat whatever's on the plate is important rather than worrying about how much nutrients they're getting inside their body. So when I got these for free, exactly the same. There's no nasties, there's no processors, no artificial sugar, absolutely nothing but veggies, and fruit. Okay, so completely natural. And the way that they do it is they actually mix it with a little bit of their fruits, the natural fruit syrup, so no sugars, nothing processed, but a little bit of the fruit juice to make it sweet. Even the veggies got a little sweet taste to it so that it's palatable for the kids. Now, what I found with this and what really made me believe in Juice Plus enough to add it into my program was that my kids' palates changed. So when we, you know, like we all use the concept like attracts like, you know, the universal law of attraction. Now, because my kids were putting more good stuff in their body every day, they didn't realize, they just thought it was lolly, but they were flooding those cells full of good nutrients every day, just simply adding more good stuff into their body. they actually started to crave better stuff. So they wanted to start to try more vegetables. My daughter would take carrots to school in her lunchbox. Now that would never happen, never, you know, and she was enjoying it. It wasn't such a struggle. Now to me, that was the biggest indicator that this product works. The fact that it turns on cells, it actually starts to change the way our bodies function and get it back to the way that we were supposed to function before all this processed crap was brought into our life. Now, I find that really important because with better nutrition, I've seen them do better things. So they started sleeping better. They started pooping better. They started concentrating more. And it wasn't such a struggle every day, you know, to kind of get them to and from school, to deal with those energy flows, because they weren't eating so much processed sugars and different sorts of stuff like that. They weren't having those peaks of crazy times. And because I was taking the products as well, I was noticing really good results too. So the changes overall in our general health were quite profound. I was on them for a good, I'd say 2 weeks. I wanted to give them a really good trial to see if it would work. I noticed crazy stuff. I'll tell you a little bit more about my story later. But I actually came into this with severe depression and anxiety. And to me, that was something that I didn't think fruits and veggies would fix, but it was a perk to give it a shot. You know, it was worth a try. When I actually told my rep that I was suffering from anxiety and depression, she suggested that I try these little guys as well. Now with Juice Plus, they do only have 2 actual products. So the capsules that work on a micronutrient level and the clean protein that works on a macronutrient level. I didn't know much about proteins. All I knew is that my ex used to be a gym junkie and he'd have those disgusting shakers that always smelt and they were gross. So protein was never up my alley. But, you know, I took them because she said to me that they have a natural mineral in there called niacin. Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys know about it, but it's actually a natural mood enhancer. So it works as a natural antidepressant. And it was crazy. It did phenomenal things for my mental health. And that's why it was the nail in the coffin for me to be like, yes, I love this. I'm adding it into my program and we're running with it, because to me, it just makes sense. This has so many superfoods in it that we're just not getting in today's life. Like if I read some of these, I would love to challenge you guys about when was the last time you put this on your child's plate or on your own plate, or inside your shopping trolley. So, you know, this one I'll go through. We've got pea protein, broccoli sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, radish sprouts, amaranth, quinoa, pumpkin powder, pomegranate powder, spirulina, yucca powder, mushroom powder, pomegranate, all sorts of, and then the niacins, and we go into vitamin B12, natural form, everything like that. Okay, so the crazy stuff. And the cool thing about it is, again, it's all natural. It's vegan, so there's no animal products whatsoever, completely plant-based power. And it's actually done yummy. Like, it's nice. It's totally palatable. And the coolest thing is that it's natural flavors as well. So we do only have the vanilla and the chocolate because they're the 2 naturally derived flavors. Okay, I have mine as a smoothie every morning because I'm not much of a breakfast person. And I can absolutely tell when I miss out. You know, if I go for too many days without it, I'm back feeling anxious. I'm back feeling a bit shitty by the end of the day. So yeah, I really recommend both of the products with the program, but I think it depends on you guys and how you feel like that would work with your body. And I mean, again, we're all skeptical. So try one, see if you like that. If not, add another one in. But I love my story because it's changed my world. I'll get into that a little bit later, but Denise is on here too. She's one of our lovely ladies in the community who is going to tell us about her story, because I think the stories are so powerful. They're much better for me than all of the research put together. So I'm going to highlight her. She can tell you guys what she's noticed, and then we'll move on a little bit about what else the program offers.
Thank you so much, Katrina. Lovely to be on here and meet all you lovely people. And thanks for having me. So my background is that I'm a health and physical education teacher, and I have been for the past 30 years. I've taught in many states across Australia. I have 3 children of my own, and I just so wish these products, they actually were around when my kids were little, but I didn't know about them. So I feel a bit ripped off that Juice Plus came into my life so far down the track. So my story with Juice Plus goes back to last September. I got interested in Juice Plus as a business opportunity, first of all, because even though I have loved being a PE teacher and I still love being a PE teacher, I was looking for something a bit extra in life, looking to beyond my years of teaching and looking at a retirement plan. So I came across Juice Plus from a lovely lady called Jo, and she explained to me what the products were. And just like Katrina, I was pretty skeptical at first. I've been teaching nutrition for a long time. One thing I've noticed over the years is that the kids at school, their choices around nutrition and their knowledge around nutrition is decreasing, and that's really scary. The kids are getting less energetic. There's more kids sitting out of lessons, that kind of stuff, and that really worried me. So when I came across Juice Plus and found out exactly what was in the capsules and in the shakes, in the protein shakes, I was really impressed. So I needed, same as Katrina, I was skeptical. I needed to be convinced. So when you order Juice Plus, you get 120 days worth of product up front, which is scientifically proven for your cells to rejuvenate. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. But at the same time, my partner Greg has had a history of high cholesterol for the last 10 years. And when I got all 4 months of my product, I thought, here we go. He's just had his blood test, so let's put this product to the test, because I need some scientific proof myself, even though there's all the peer-reviewed studies. So I got my 4 months worth of product and I split them in half, and I started shoveling down Greg's throat the capsules as well as my own, knowing that he was going to have another blood test in a couple of months, and then, we could go, no, it's a load of codswallop, or these things are awesome. So I'm very happy to report after 2 months after his blood test, it came back for the first time in 10 years that his cholesterol had actually stabilised rather than going up. So his doctor had been threatening him with statins and all sorts of horrible drugs, and we'd been resisting that. He said to his doctor, just give me one more chance to do this naturally. We think we might have found a product that's going to help us, so at least give us a go. So that's what happened. When we got his blood test back and that was the result, from that day on, I could put my hand on my heart, and I wanted my whole family and friends and everyone I knew and loved to be on these products. So my next person that I introduced the products to was my mum, and she's had amazing results recovering from surgery on her feet. She's had 3 operations. The first 2, she hadn't been taking Juice Plus yet. But with the 3rd operation, she went back a week after the operation. She's 75, and the podiatrist said, you've actually got healing that shouldn't even be happening yet, and especially in the 75-year-old lady. Lots of other stories around my mum and her partner as well, but I won't take up all of Ash's Zoom time tonight. So back to Greg again. We've been taking capsules and premium and the whole food shakes. The shakes right from the start, because I wanted to test all of the products. I'm really happy to report 2 months after the first blood test, Greg's cholesterol actually went down 9.2%, and his bad cholesterol went down 22%. So every time he goes, it's just getting exponentially better. Same as Katrina with the shakes. We have them for breakfast. We like going to the gym. As I said, I'm a PE teacher, so we go to the gym 6 o'clock in the morning. We whip up a shake in the NutriBullet, and we like to add some extra nutrition in that as well, with spinach leaves, some avocado, makes it really nice and creamy, and some strawberries when they're in season. And I whip that up and I go to the gym. As Katrina said, it's full of happy niacin. So I walk into the gym. I'm sure I'm really annoying when I walk in and go, morning, everyone. And they go, oh, here she is again, bouncing around. And I really feel like that. I go to the gym, go to a class, I bounce around. Then I go to work, teach a couple of lessons at school, and I'm not hungry. Another little byproduct, which has made me pretty happy, is I've lost 9 kilograms. I never went in this to lose any weight, and I actually didn't think I had 9 kilos to lose, but that's been a happy sideline of the whole journey as well up to this point. So whether I was in the business or whether I wasn't in the business, I would take Juice Plus forever. We absolutely love the products. And another thing I'm really happy to say is I love the products and I love the business so much. I'm actually leaving my teaching job at the end of this year, and I'm continuing on my Juice Plus journey as a full-time business, because it's just so much fun. I love connecting with other people and sharing my story, sharing the journey, and sharing this opportunity with as many people as I possibly can. So that's my story so far. It's been a fun 8 months, and I cannot wait to see what happens next.
You're awesome, darling. You're absolutely awesome. Thank you for sharing, hon. Thank you for sharing. I love your story. I love your story. And I resonate with that so much too, because I think you need to have a personal story in order to believe it. People can tell you all about it and people can tell you how great it is, but until you get it in your body and see what it does for you, it's all up in the air. Oh, my internet's being dodgy. Cool. So a little bit more about me. When I came into this, I was not in a good spot likewise. So it was kind of like, if anybody's had those, oh, here we go. Sorry, guys, just a second. Have you got me okay, Ash? Ash, I might just try and jump on over to you while I sort out my internet. Do you want to take yourself off mute, honey, and just start talking? It'll screen share to you.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
All right. So I've been taking Juice Plus now for, I think it's been 3 weeks. I have felt amazing. My energy levels have just skyrocketed. I come across Juice Plus because of Katrina, because we work together. I'd been watching her posts on Facebook and absolutely loving them. I'd been watching her journey for quite a while, and it was basically, I saw her journey and I was skeptical because I knew it was too good to be true. Basically, we are trained to be skeptical, and I believe that good things can happen to you if you just believe in it. So I messaged her and I come across to her and I hit her up and I just asked what she was doing, and she sent me a link. I was very skeptical. It took me quite a while to actually look at it. Once I did, I loved it. It all made sense to me. It resonated with me. I did find that I was being approached with quite a lot of these things previously, so I was turned off immediately when she sent me a link, because I'd been asked to come along to different events all the time. I'd been asked to be part of different pyramid schemes and be part of Herbalife. I've heard them all before. And for people that know me, I'm not a person to take supplements. I am a vegetarian, so supplements to me is just, it didn't make sense. I wanted everything to be from a food source. A little bit about me at the moment: we are traveling. We're traveling New Zealand. Our nutrition levels weren't very good. We were traveling and we were on a budget. We kind of just up and left really quickly due to just living a really mundane life. Everything was really mundane, and we thought, why not just go on an adventure? And we packed up our bags and we left to New Zealand at the end of our lease. We found out we didn't really have as much money as we wanted, so we kind of spent all of our money on a camper van, and we're looking for jobs really quickly here. That's when I came across Katrina and her Juice Plus journey. It really stood out to me because of the business side of it. I wanted to be at home and make money, and I love helping people. I love health, everything to do with health, and I love helping people. It took me a while to actually get on board because I was so skeptical. I don't like these things, and again, I don't like taking products. I think everything should be from a food source, but I do believe that this is something really amazing because it's from food. It's organic. It's something that we're not getting in our bodies daily. We were living off noodles and beans for so long, and my nutrition was really low. I broke out. My skin got really bad. I got cystic acne all down all down my neck. It got to a point where I couldn't leave. It really did affect me for quite a while, and within a week of taking Juice Plus, I saw results pretty instantly within a week. My skin cleared up, my energy was sustained throughout the day. So those of you who don't know the job that I have at the moment, I did end up finding work here. I work 4 days on, 4 days off as a milk merchandiser. Basically, I load milk day in, day out for 10 hours. I'm pulling around and lifting crates all day. It's very physical and it was exhausting. It's now been 4 or 5 days straight now. I've still got a couple more days to go because it is my last week there. We'll be moving into a new job shortly. So it was, my Juice Plus journey has been amazing. I've loved it. I've felt incredible. I wake up before my alarm. I wake up fresh and excited. I don't feel groggy. And the people that you meet is amazing. The program, everything's done from home, online. There's no need to leave the house and do events and run this and run that. Everything's from home and you're helping people. It's not a salesy thing at all. That's what I love about it. Everything that's turned me off any of these things before is the sales aspect, and I don't like that at all. People don't have the money or time to spend in any of these things, and this is not like that. You're coming from a place in your heart that you want to help people, and you want to help people's family life and health and wealth, and you want to help people to sustain something that we are constantly seeing people sick all the time, constantly going to doctors, in and out of doctors and hospitals, and prevention is so much cheaper and better than medicating illness. Investing in your health right now, although you may not feel the benefits straight away, or you may not be broken or sick, or your vehicle may not be broken, investing in your health now is something that is long term going to benefit you in so many ways, more than your health, more than your pocket, more than what you can afford, because it may be really, really expensive down the track for you to actually medicate yourself down the track in a really unhealthy way. So Juice Place, it made sense to me to build a better life for yourself, a life that you can sustain and be around and be healthy and happy.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing, honey. Thanks for saving me. I think my internet's back to normal now.
And thank you all for jumping on.
Yeah, guys, we really appreciate it, because I mean, this kind of stuff is a little overwhelming at the best of times, and it's scary. You know, I remember back when I first started, you had to reach out to people and tell them what you were doing. It's quite scary. I do apologise in advance. My daughter has decided to come into the room because she can't live without me. So that only is going to cause drama, but we're going to multitask, because like Ash said, this is the beauty of kind of working from home. So yeah, when I started this, I was financially in a really bad place. I have 2 small children, and the youngest one was only kind of, on that 6-month mark, and I wasn't working, and my partner at the time got so sick that he had to give up work, and it was something quite traumatic that he was sick with. So it kind of threw us into a whole 180 of me getting thrown back into work, not having any income coming in for that time while he was unwell, and me having to look after the 2 kids and him. So it was really hard, but it's such a blessing now looking back at it. And when I was approached with this, I only had enough money to basically live, but I decided that the product was going to be worth it for me, because at that stage I was feeling so crappy every day that my physical quality of life was very low. So I thought, I'm going to give it a shot. If it works, I'm going to run with this program, and I'm going to create something that's going to help people in a spot where I am as well. Girls, thank you. So I know, I understand that it can look quite overwhelming, and then when I got involved in it, I really kind of took a look at the business behind Juice Plus. Like Ash was saying, she's doing the same now, because as much as we would love to all be financially set, it's very challenging these days to get ahead, extremely challenging. You know, most of us have a job where we get swapped some dollar figure for an amount of our time. So, you know, a lot of the time it's what, $20 or something an hour for our time, which is really quite hard, especially if we don't want to be there. We don't enjoy being there. We've got kids or families or goals or something other than the work that we're doing. It can become quite depressing. So something like this made sense to me because of the structure and the way that the business was set. So, you know, I just want to explain a little bit about it because there's so many myths out there about Juice Plus and other MLM industries and things like that. And so many of them are so outdated from way back in the 70s and things like that, when Amway and all sorts of different network marketing companies popped up and they were doing things the absolute wrong way. So I just want to kind of slam a few of those myths and let you guys see what we're actually doing and what Ash is doing. And like we said, most of us are coming from a heart space, especially with an amazing product like this that can kind of transform you. So when we come in, you know, pretty much with a few issues. One of the biggest ones I hear is that it's a pyramid. So, you know, I used to work in traditional business. I worked in retail. I started up my own business, but that was on side. So in order to get enough money to create that business, I went into working at Infinity with Ash. So way up in Surface when we were little babies. And we started off down here as little checkout chicks. That was a cool job. It was really fun. We had lots of people, but because we was in Surface Paradise, we worked crazy hours. So we were there late at night. We were there all the time. We were there on public holidays, long weekends, Christmas time. You know, our families came totally second. We came second because we had to go and do this job. So as we kind of worked there, we worked up the ranks. You know, I think I got to assistant manager there before I left. And then we had the CEO at the top, who was a real douche. But, you know, he was up there and he got to make the decisions because it was his baby. But he pretty much told us what to do all the time. He was there enjoying his holidays with his family. He was never at the attraction doing the work. It was all us in here. Now, the really sad part about it was that even though we enjoyed each other's company, as we got up here, so we wanted to go for like supervisor positions and senior supervisor positions, it became narrower and it created an industry of animosity. So there was backstabbing, gossiping, all sorts of things like that because you wanted to have one up on the next person so that if a promotion came available, you were there. Okay, and it was really quite cutthroat. It was, you know, exhausting because even though when you did get up here, you had more on your plate. Yes, you might have got an extra $3 an hour, but then you had to do rosters and you had to do late nights and you had to do opens and closes and things like that. And I know this is just one industry of many, but it is the way that traditional business works. There's always someone at the top. They're always telling you what to do. These guys are the ones with the money. Down here, you're swapping your hour for a dollar figure. Okay, it's just traditional business. It's the way it works. And it's really funny that people quite often tend to think that network marketing is a pyramid because every single job that we're in is a pyramid. It's the structure that works typically. Now, when I came into this, it was quite different. It was nothing like I'd seen. I had the expectation that somebody would sit above me and make money off what I earned because that was my expectation of a pyramid scam. What I found was, though, this is Lola, everybody. What I found was, though, that our business is actually a little bit more like a square rather than a pyramid because there's nobody that sits atop you. So we all come in down the bottom, regardless of whether we're, you know, a hairdresser, a stay-at-home mom, a doctor, a chiropractor, because we do have a lot of medical professionals in the industry, regardless of their experience or their, you know, contribution, so to speak, we all come in as what we call a virtual franchisee down the bottom, which I think is really cool. Nobody gets special treatment. Everybody gets to treat this business like an equal opportunity. Up the top here, it's NMD. So it's our National Marketing Director position, and it's the top of the company. Now, as you can see, there's unlimited positions. So what's really cool is that you're not competing with anybody. As you grow up here, everybody has the opportunity to get to the top. There's not just one person sitting up there. Everybody who comes into this has the power to do it. We have the same opportunities, the same systems, the same, you know, tools. It just depends on our drive and our circumstance. In my team now, you know, I have some women who come in here and who are literally happy to earn an extra $500 a month just sharing a product because they love it. And they're happy to chill down here. And that's really cool because in our marketing model, there's no targets. There's no you must hit this or you're no longer in the team kind of thing. Like, we're happy to meet you where you're at. Whereas when I came into this, I really understood that I wanted to make something of this. I wanted out of my traditional life. I was sick of being financially strapped and living week to week. So I wanted up here, and I had the ability to do it. So within, say, 15 months, I was able to go from nothing to a 6-figure income, basically because I had the system there to help me do it. So it is really cool. It does work, and I would never have got to the top of my pyramid, at infinity. It just never would have happened. And even when I was at the top of my own pyramid, I owned a dance studio as well. It was stressful. It was really stressful. I had overheads, I had staffing, I had all sorts of things. I didn't have the freedom. Even if I went overseas, there'd be people calling me and saying, you need to come into work. I can't find the invoice book because that would be so important. I always took second best because my company came first. So both of the systems, they didn't work. When I found this one, I realized it did. And like Ash said, the people above you who have done it before, they are there to help you, because if you're doing well, they're doing well. So there's no competition. Everybody wants to support you, and everybody wants to make sure that you're doing well, because innately it affects everybody's business. So there's no competition, there's no nastiness. It's just a group of people trying to empower you to reach your goals, which is really refreshing. Now, the other thing I was concerned about was that I had to know 1,000 people in order to create a network marketing business, right? That's what everybody thinks, is you need to go and headhunt all your family and friends in order to be successful. When I came into this, I had no idea how it was going to work. For the first 3 months, I reckon I just winged it. But literally, I met with, so here's me. I met with one of the mums at my dance studio whose name was Miranda. Now, Miranda was also doing family daycare, and she hated it. She was so over not being able to pick her kids up because she was looking after others. So she decided that she wanted to jump on my business. She was like, sweet, it makes sense to me. I'd love to give it a shot. She introduced it to a girl called Amanda and a girl called Danielle. Danielle went and introduced it to a girl named Kiki. Okay, then I introduced it to another one of my girlfriends who was a single mum. Her name was Tracy. Now, Tracy didn't have many friends because she suffered social anxiety. So to her, this kind of business was way out of her comfort zone. She actually met 2 people solely online, and their names was also a Katrina and a Chelsea. Now, Chelsea introduced it to 2 people straight away, named Sophie and Carmel, and pretty much I knew 2 people, and it had already popcorned out beyond my control. People were signing up, people who were signing up customers who were signing up more people. Now, the cool thing about that is that all happened within my first month. Then these guys met more people. These guys met more people. I met more people. And pretty soon, within 5 months, I was earning over $1,000 a week in this business. And to me, that was crazy money, because $1,000 a week meant way more choices for me. So what I decided to do was close up my traditional business and really put my time and effort into this, because I could see that this was working so much better than my traditional business. From there, so that was 5 months into my business. I'm now almost 18 months into it. So you can kind of imagine I now have a team of about 400. So, finances are fantastic. But the best part of it is that I can actually help people. So I get paid to help people make money. And that's what I'm really excited about with Ash, because I know the product stands. The product changes lives. Even today, I got a message from a customer who's been on the product about 5 months. Now, she got the free chews for her son, and he has severe ADHD. She said to me for the last week, because she's in New Zealand, so the last week of school holidays, she sent him to school with no medication. And she was like, the teachers didn't even make a difference. So, that's crazy stuff for me. That's worth doing what I do. But then I've got the financial side of it too, like being able to reach out to Ash and help her see that maybe 5 months down the track, like me, she might be able to make a really good income by just reaching out and helping others. And then they're helping others, and, the positive cycle of influence continues. So I hope that explains a little bit more about the myths. You don't need to know people. It grows without you. And even you might be like Trace and meet people online rather than go and use, family and friends. But to be honest, I think if Ash has invited you on here today, there's a reason why she thinks you'd be good at this. There's a reason why she believes in you. And sometimes it just takes somebody else believing in you before you can see it for yourself. So definitely have a talk to her, get your questions answered. The last thing I want to go through is the income, because I want to show you how I could make $1,000 a week pretty much under 6 months into my business. Now, in this kind of industry, there's a lot of stigma around how we make money. You know, I actually believe, now this is totally honest, that the product must have been crap. If they could have a markup so much that we were making such great money, the product mustn't have been good. So it mustn't have cost much. It mustn't have been high quality. It was explained to me by one of the really big leaders in our company, and it just made absolute sense. So she said that network marketing, direct selling, we rely solely on word of mouth marketing. So if you think this company's been around for 30 years, so within 30 years, they haven't paid for any marketing, any TV advertising, any celebrity endorsing, any stock shelf fees, any shop front fees, absolutely nothing but a warehouse. And what they do is with every single little bit of profit, they give it back to the people who are loving it. You know, now to me, that is honest marketing, because you can't fool somebody. You have to share your story of what it's done for you. People have to see your story of what it's done. You know, you're not getting Kim Kardashian sitting on a billboard in her undies telling you to buy her lip gloss. Like, you know, you're actually getting people's real stories, and that's where all the money comes from. So the really cool thing to think is when somebody is making money in this, they're making it really cleverly, because the company is actually rewarding them rather than just spending a whole lot on marketing and advertising. Does that kind of make sense a little bit? Yeah. So when we come into it, we get paid 3 ways. So not like a normal job where you just get your wage. You actually get paid 3 ways. And as you open up avenues, there's definitely more ways as well. But I'll just explain the first 3. So we get paid to use the product, talk about the product, and share our stories, our results. Cool. So pretty simple. You know, if you go to a cafe and you like your food or something, you take a photo of it and you put it on Facebook. Same kind of thing. Like, we just get paid to share our stories. Cool. So the first one that I want to talk to you guys about is your bonuses. Now, that's the fun money, because not many of us get bonuses in real life. So when we come into the business, we typically move to DBF within 10 days, which is a $100 bonus straight away. Now, that's kind of just the company saying thank you for having faith. You know, thanks for believing in us. Here you go, invest this back into your business or help pay for your product or something, and let's get rolling. And then we move to SDBF within 40 days, and that's a $400 bonus. Now, because this business is a teaching bonus, a teaching business, everybody that you bring into the business who hits DVF, the company pays you $400 as well. Cool. So you can hit SDVF and teach somebody else to hit SDVF and get $800 straight away. Then we move on to SC. Now, that normally happens within the first 3 months, and it's a $600 bonus, $600 every time you teach somebody to hit SC. SSC is a $1,200 bonus, and $1,200 every time you teach someone. QNMD is $1,500, same, $1,500 teaching bonus. And then we hit NMD, which is actually our pinnacle position, and it's a $3,000 bonus. Oh, that makes it a lot bigger than it is, but a $3,000 bonus. And pretty much at that stage, you're making about $100,000 residual income. So your teacher doesn't really need a bonus because they're probably sitting on the same. Now, with that, I'll kind of explain to you, that's beautiful. That's really lovely. Look at my daughter's hands. This is what happens when you bring kids to play. The joys. It's like, Mum's distracted. Let's draw on ourselves. Go and wash them off, please. You need to go to the sink. But yeah, so that's bonuses. Then we get paid retail profit. So every time you connect a customer, so somebody who wants to better their health, somebody who wants to give the product a bit of a trial, the company will put money in your bank account for doing so. So you don't have to stock the product. You don't have to ship it. All you do is on the software that we give you, you tell the company, you know, Ash wants to order a premium. This is her address. What they'll do is they'll put money in your bank account for hooking it up. Cool. So really simple, really easy. And then our last one's our residual income, which is called our percentage or our beach money. So for me, I love this because at the state I'm at now, you know, with my team working the way they are and me being able to go out and impact enough ladies to do what I've done, I now have residual income that comes in every month whether I work or not. So that's really important for me because I want to create something that 10 years down the track, it will support my 2 children. it will be able to be a legacy that I can hand them, rather than being like, I slaved my whole life. You can have the house when I die. That kind of stuff, it doesn't fly anymore. Like, we're not getting by through life. It's so hard to even get a mortgage. So something like this makes sense for me. I know I can set it up. I've seen how it's happened so far. And pretty much so I'm about to turn 30. And my goal is, by the time I'm 35, my business, following this system, should be set up enough for me to retire. So I'm going to then take my baby's world schooling. We're going to take 2 years off school. I'm going to homeschool them. And I want to take them traveling around while, my business takes care of itself. So it's just phenomenal. I've got friends that have been doing it for 3 to 5 years, and they're doing that now. Like, they just come because they're addicted to the whole atmosphere and the tribe and, the motivational people that we're hanging around. So definitely it makes sense. It works. You see so many opportunities like this out there these days. I can vouch for this one. I was skeptical at the start too. But I've been able to align it with my values of, I'm quite a spiritual person. So I've been able to create the Soul Project, which offers even more value than just the Juice Plus franchise. But, it's really cool. You can run with it however you want. And, like I said, Ash has obviously invited you here for a reason. And even if it doesn't make sense to you, if you're sitting there thinking, oh, it's not really for me, I don't know if I could run with it, just have your questions answered. Just have them answered, because we all have doubts. I promise you, none of us started and thought, yeah, I'm going to cream this. It's something new. It definitely takes some time, but we've got a really supportive system here to help you. And even if you aren't keen on it, you might know somebody who would use something, somebody who wants some income from home, somebody who wants some better health. And, that's when we really rely on the word of mouth business for you guys to send them Ash's way and just help them understand what it is that she's doing. So I hope that all makes sense for you. My internet's going dodgy again. So I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to get Ash to jump back on and say good night to everybody. And thank you all for jumping on. But I really appreciate it. And I hope it's kind of helped out a little bit, understand what she's doing.